There's something about trading that nobody warns you about. Something darker than losses, more painful than mistakes, and more destructive than any strategy failure. Traders don't quit because the market is hard. Traders quit because trading is lonely. Not the kind of loneliness you feel when you're physically alone, but the kind that sits inside your chest even when you're surrounded by people. The kind that builds slowly, silently, until one day you realize the market has isolated you in ways you never expected. Most people will never understand what traders go through. They don't understand the pressure of watching your own decisions determine your financial fate. They don't understand the emotional weight of losing money in seconds. They don't understand the psychological torture of watching a winning trade evaporate because you hesitated. They don't understand the guilt you feel when you break your rules again and again, even though you swore you wouldn't. They don't understand the mental exhaustion that comes from analyzing every detail of every move until your brain feels like it's melting. And because they don't understand, they can't help you. They can't talk to you about it. They can't guide you. They can't support you. Not really. So you deal with it alone. In silence. In confusion. In pain. I remember nights where I sat at my desk long after the markets closed, staring at the screen like I was waiting for something: clarity, forgiveness, direction. But none of that ever came. Only the silence. The kind of silence that forces you to confront the truth you don't want to face. That you're fighting a battle no one else can fight for you. And that the deeper you go, the fewer people you'll have beside you. But the loneliness isn't just emotional. It's practical. When you lose, you can't tell anyone. When you win, they won't understand what it took. And when you're somewhere in the middle, struggling, grinding, hanging on, you're invisible to the world. Trading isolates you because the journey is internal. Every fear, every doubt, every impulse, every mistake, it all happens inside your mind. And the only person who hears it is you. I once mentored a trader named Drew. Smart, dedicated, passionate. But every time he hit a rough patch, he would vanish for days. Not because he didn't care, but because he didn't know how to explain the emotional storm he was going through. Nobody in his life understood why a single losing day could drain him. Nobody understood why he needed time, space, silence. So he hid. Buried himself inside the charts. Let the loneliness swallow him until he felt like he was disappearing. I realized something watching him go through that cycle. The market doesn't break traders with losses. It breaks them with isolation. It breaks them by making them feel like they're the only ones who've ever struggled like this. But the truth is, every real trader has. I remember one night in particular. I was sitting alone in a dim room, the glow of the monitor casting the only light. I had blown a significant portion of my account, my own fault, my own decisions, my own lack of discipline. And I couldn't tell anyone. Not because I was ashamed of the loss, but because I knew nobody would understand what it represented. It wasn't the money. It was the piece of myself I lost with it. The trust. The confidence. The belief that I was progressing. I sat there with my head in my hands, and for a moment I felt like I was the only person on earth who had ever felt that kind of despair. But years later, after talking to hundreds of traders, I realized something profound. Every trader has cried alone. Every trader has broken down alone. Every trader has questioned their worth alone. Every trader has felt like giving up alone. Every trader has had nights where they felt completely disconnected from the world. It's not the losing that destroys traders. It's the feeling that they're losing alone. And here's the darkest part of it all. Loneliness makes you make terrible decisions. When you're isolated, you trade for comfort instead of clarity. You trade to feel something instead of following your plan. You trade to escape instead of execute. You trade because you don't want to sit with your own thoughts. You trade because silence feels heavier than risk. Loneliness creates emotional pressure. Emotional pressure creates impulsive decisions. Impulsive decisions destroy traders. I once reached a point where I didn't even care about the money anymore. I just didn't want to feel alone in my failure. I took trades I knew were bad just so I had something to focus on. Something to distract me. Something to chase. And the market punished me for every one of them. But in those moments, the punishment felt better than the silence. It takes a long time to realize that trading is not supposed to fill the empty spaces in your life. It's not supposed to make you feel whole. It's not supposed to replace connection, or friendship, or fulfillment. The market is not your therapist. It's not your escape. It's not your comfort. It's a mirror. And the lonelier you are, the more distorted that reflection becomes. But here's the part that matters. The part that saves traders instead of breaking them. Loneliness in trading doesn't go away by surrounding yourself with people. It goes away by understanding yourself. You stop feeling alone when you stop expecting the market to fill emotional gaps. You stop feeling alone when you stop hiding your weakness from yourself. You stop feeling alone when you stop pretending you're the only one suffering. You stop feeling alone when you become the version of yourself who no longer needs the market to validate anything. That's the transformation. That's the shift. That's when trading stops being a prison and becomes a craft. So I want you to do something. Something simple, but powerful. Comment below with, "I've felt alone in trading." Say it. Claim it. Because you're not the only one. Not even close. Every trader who's ever made it through the fire has felt the same loneliness you're feeling now. The difference is, they didn't stay trapped in it. If this helped you, like the video and subscribe for more old trading secrets.